Hello everyone, to both our Life Church family and our wider church family who have been supporting us either financially or through prayer over the past year and a half. I want to say thank you. Your support has become God's provision for Rebecca and I to continue the work we believe we are called to in this season. We are profoundly grateful for each and every one of you and for all that you do in support of us. It is because of this that we want to keep you up to date with where we are, where we're at, what we have been doing, and what we will be doing over the course of the next year, as well as sharing some more personal details and updates relating to Rebecca and I and our growing family. Firstly, Rebecca and I want to let you know that we have undergone a slight change in the way that we function. When we set out on this journey, we felt the urgency of God to start, but knew that there was a lot of unknown. How would we function within our church and with other churches, and what was the bigger picture for what we would do and how that would look like? Over the past 18 months, we have learned a lot. When we started this journey, we continued in our capacity as leaders within Life Church, but tried to see our missionary work as something separate. This was for a number of reasons. One, we weren't employed by the church, and so we didn't want to thrust ourselves in our shift to full-time ministry onto the church. And also because we wanted the freedom to work with lots of churches across Lincoln. Late last year, Rebecca and I met with other members of the core team here at Life Church, and we decided to formally bring our work under the banner of Life Church, combining our roles on the team here and our work in the community. This gave us much more support, and it enabled us to plan as a church more strategically in line with the missional focus of the church. It also reflects an internal growth of vision for Rebecca and I, as we started understanding better the relationship between our role here at Life Church and the nature of being called as missionaries. I also learned that those things are inseparable. We do, however, remain independently funded, and so we do still value the financial support that you provide. In line with this, our work has been a real blend of kingdom work and building up new prophetic structures within the church, and planning and working on new ones outside the church and in the community. So I'm going to just run through firstly some of the things that we have been doing, and then move on to some of the things that we will be doing over the next year and more. So firstly, this past year has been intense, a real season of preparation for Rebecca and I. Alongside supporting the rest of our team in leadership, day to day we engage in mentoring both for ourselves and for others. I also spent the last year or so actively seeking God for a prophetic vision for our midweek groups, and then launching our new midweek groups for the church. I see this as an essential expression of our missions work, as the goal was never for Rebecca and I to have a monopoly on missions work, but to pioneer new things and to replicate missional culture within the wider church and to see the kingdom grow. The launching of our new midweek families represents a massive step forward in that. In raising up new leaders, developing brand new structures, and praying for a new missional shift in culture. This also reflects the wider vision of Life Church leadership. Alongside this, Rebecca started working part-time for another local church, working as a grants fundraiser to support the church in its heart for mission. We tied this in with our vision from last year, in which our goal was for a more established connection with our community. We both served as volunteers at our local library, not only to play a part in keeping it open, but also because it gave us great opportunities to meet our wider neighbours in the Birchwood. For me, since February 2021, I have been running the Birchwood branch of the Nightlight Cafe. This is a project in which we partner with a host of other churches across the city to provide non-clinical mental health support for those in crisis. This has been really impactful, and not only seeing many in our local area access it for support, but also a significant number of new connections hear about Jesus for the first time and even attend church and go on Alpha courses. As word spreads, we only continue to see more people access this service, and we are really blessed that we can be part in facilitating it and looking after the Birchwood area for the Nightlight Cafe. Last year, we also met dozens of new people in our area through hosting free community barbecues, something that we are continuing this year. The result of these was that we got in touch and got to touch base with hundreds of people we had met and prayed for during our food distribution in early 2021. It also resulted in multiple people coming to church and hearing about Jesus for the first time. Finally, last year I spent many days doing door-to-door, either inviting people to Alpha courses or just sharing Jesus through delivering goodie bags to bless people. All these things collectively have, we feel, put us in a good starting place for developing deeper and more lasting relationships with our community. So now that leads me on to sharing where we are right now and what we have been planning to do over the next year. Many who track with us on social media will know that my family recently welcomed our latest addition, our new son, Wesley John Dean Bell. The step up to 3 children has been significant, and we have spent the last 2 weeks learning how to adjust. But we felt God's profound love and favour over us throughout the entire time, as well as being blessed with the support of our wonderful church. In light of this, Rebecca is focusing on our primary ministry within the home, and for this season is taking a step back from some of the more active church leadership roles. For me, I am loving our work and still continuing as God leads. In addition to our roles within the leadership, I continue to run our Nightlight Cafe, to seek God to lead our church in the prophetic, and to pastor our new small group leaders and their members. My goal for this year in what's new, however, is to host 3 new community barbecues, each empowering our midweek groups to engage missionally with the communities around them. And the first of these is taking place on Friday the 3rd of June, ready for the Queen's Jubilee. I'm also working with one of our missional midweek groups to launch some evangelism outreach events, where our heart is to see people gather to hear the gospel and to see miracles break out and people healed and delivered. This stays true to our fundamental belief that the gospel is one of power and deliverance. This is so we can really see the reality of what Paul describes in Romans 15, where he says, "In leading the Gentiles to obedience by word and deed, by the power of signs and wonders, and by the power of the Spirit of God, so from Jerusalem all the way to Jerusalem, I have fully proclaimed the gospel of Christ." We don't just want to proclaim in word, but we also want to see the power of God set people free in our community and in our church. Lastly, in conjunction with the above events, I have also been working on a series of evangelistic and testimonial videos that will form a part of a new digital evangelism strategy for the church, touching on themes in society and pointing people to where they can find the answers. There is yet more happening, but for now, those are the only things that I can share openly. But I am excited for the next update where I can keep you posted on all of the above. For now, thank you. Thank you for listening this far, and God bless you, and take care.